Hi, this is April Fallon, the host of Adoption Now, telling your adoption story. Thank you for joining our after show. We just had a great interview with Veronica from California, and she is a listener, which is very cool. I love when listeners apply to be on the show and they say, hey, because of your show, you helped me do this. And she said, because of your show, I heard you say, just take the next step. And it led to her third child. And she talks about what it's like to be a social worker but then become a foster mom and how she changed. I mean, that whole experience gave her empathy. And she said to foster parents, look, I know this is really hard. Why? Because I've done it now. And I know that we ask a lot out of you. And it's filled with brokenness and grief and it's hard. And now she has this empathy as a social worker to help adoptive parents get through the hard times. One of my favorite parts about the interview is when she said, that she was crying because she thought she was going to lose a child back to a family. And she had had the child for a long time. And she felt like this is going to be finalized. And all of a sudden, a family member stood up from the child's side and said, no, I want the child to go with this family member. And she was crying and crying. And her husband said, you were crying so hard over something that hasn't happened yet. And you're missing all this opportunity to mother this child and to be there and to be present. You're just so worried and so fearful. And even though it was really hard for her to say, you're right, I need to stop. I mean, this hasn't happened and I will cry for sure if it does happen. But right now I'm the mother of this child and I need to be there 100%. What a great message for all of us. I mean, honestly, to be present with your children and to bond with your children. She talked about how when she brought the first little girl home, she attached to her very fast. And she thought, am I going to love this child 100% and the child's not going to stay with me? And she decided it doesn't matter. No regrets. I am going to love this child 100% of the time and love this child as if it was my very own because this child deserves it, even if in the end my heart is broken. I mean, that is the amazing thing about foster care is that you really have to step up to the plate and bring it and love a child that might not stay with you. And she did. She was there 100% for the baby. And one of the things I got from her is she said that physical contact was so important. And I think that for me as an adoptive mom, that's so important. When you get this baby home and you haven't spent 9 months with a baby, you didn't carry this baby in your womb, you have to attach, you have to bond. And skin to skin is so important. I know at first it can seem a little bit weird, like, okay, I'm like doing skin to skin with this baby, but the baby will love it and you will end up falling in love with this baby. And that baby needs skin to skin. That baby needs physical touch and needs you to be present there. And that's exactly what she did. And that's what her story is about. And she doesn't have any regrets. It ended up being her daughter, so it was amazing. But I just think that is such a good conversation, is how to be better foster parents, that we step into that role and say, no matter what, I'm going to unselfishly love this child. And it's so, so important to just go beyond yourself. And that is what the story is all about, is having peace in that time and just choosing to do the hard. I appreciate her story, and I love all of your stories. When you write in and tell me, oh my gosh, this is what I'm struggling with, or I heard a podcast and you encouraged me to do this, and we are part of your story and we don't even know it, it's the best thing in the whole world. So hey, write into us, submit your story, go to adoptionnow.com, and you can apply to be on the show. Check out her story. It's Veronica's story from California. You will love it. This is April Fallon. I'll see you next week.